Hi, folks. Welcome to the Ivy Boys podcast. We're back, Joel. I hope people can hear us. We've had some technical difficulties here just a little bit ago. I have no idea if you're going to hear Joel, but you know what? We're going to find out right now. Joel, how you doing, buddy?
Ball. Let's make it. Let's go.
Yes, it is baseball. I know nobody actually just heard Joel. That's okay. Because we're still working out the technical difficulties. I am sorry for that, Joel. Bear with us for a second, folks. Joel, I need you to go ahead and say this is live. It's a live show. This is what happens live. Go ahead and say something again. I'm sorry.
It's the livest possible show you can have, man. All the mistakes, all the kinks that we've got going through, and that's part of what makes it beautiful. Is just being able to come out here, say what we got to, and not have editing to fall back on like some shows might. Everything you see is exactly what we're feeling in that moment.
Joel, you are back. Everybody just heard that. You're back, buddy.
Cool. That's too bad because that was not a lot of great content there, but it was at least
no,
words.
it was great. It was great. So again, thanks for watching, folks. We do appreciate you tuning in, watching us do this tonight because it's been a while. I think our last show was March 14th or something around that date, Joel. It's been a very long time that we've had a chance to talk about Chicago Cubs baseball. I'm very excited about this. I'm excited for this season to start. I don't care it's only 60 games. It does not bother me. It's going to make it just that much more fun. Joel, I think I'm speaking for both of us to say that we're back and we're happy about it.
Yeah, man. Hey, every game matters. 2.5 games worth. Pardon me, in the standings. And you know what? I mean, every little bit counts. Every game is going to feel a little more heartbreaking when the Cubs lose, and every game is going to feel a little more vindicating. It's a Major League Baseball season under a microscope, and a bad week or a good week can either take you out or put you back into a pennant race. So this is as high stress as it can possibly be for an entire baseball season.
Yeah, I mean, think about it this way. Through 60 games last year, the Pittsburgh Pirates were a game out of first place. So you can have anything can happen in 60 games. What was it? The Mariners in like 15 games were 13-2. So you have to. I mean, you could have a team get out strong like that. You could have a team like the Pirates sneak in. You could have a team like the San Diego Padres, if it's not the Cubs, I kind of want the Padres to win this whole thing. I really, really like them.
Well, yeah, that makes. I would love a Padres Mariners World Series. That would be pretty cool.
All West Coast. Why not?
Someone's drought has to.
Why not?
Oh yeah, you're going with the X. I'm going with the never won a World Series because So the Mariners never won a World Series. Padres have never won one. Never even been to one. So that would be a big deal in and of itself. But thinking about that, if their first World Series win is during the most abbreviated season ever since baseball became better organized with the American League coming on board, I don't know how those franchise feel about it. They still have a parade. The parade might not have that many people at it, either because the interest isn't there or because of social distancing needs. And it'll be very cold when the World Series is over. So that's going to be really interesting to watch those parades. It's going to be a fun year, man. No matter what, this is going to be one like anything we've ever seen.
Yeah, it is. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be an interesting season, which brings us to the Cubs. This year, the DH is in effect for this, like I said, for this 60-game season, including playoffs. Joel, the most obvious pick here for DH is Kyle Schwarber, right? I mean, that is the most obvious pick. That's where everybody goes to. I think the sneaky pick is Wilson Contreras. because you have Vic Caratini, who can play everyday catcher. He showed that last year. So are you comfortable with Schwarber being your all-time DH? Or you see a rotation of a DH, so Schwarber does get some in left field? Obviously, I don't know if Schwarber will play against like lefties very much. Who knows? We'll see. It depends how he's doing this year. But where do you really see it? Are you set on Schwarber being the all-time DH pretty much for the season?
Against lefties, yes, and when Yu Darvish is not pitching. When Yu Darvish is pitching, he'll be Wilson Contreras. When there is an opposing lefty on the mound, it's going to be Ian Happ, I bet. He is going to be the guy who is DHing or possibly even playing left field with Contreras DHing. Schwarber is not going to be in there every game, even if he has the opportunity. Bad matchups they eat him alive, and I think that you give Schwarber a few spot starts against lefties to see if he is improved against southpaws, but overall, I don't expect him to be nearly as formidable against them as a Wilson Contreras or, again, an Ian Happ would be. I'm really high on Ian Happ getting a good number of at-bats at DH when he's not playing in center or left, potentially.
Okay, yeah. You don't think about Ian Happ because, yeah, it's kind of a shame that the DH is only for the pitcher. I would like Albert Almora Jr. to be DH for several times. That would be ideal, I think.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I'd be like you said, the obvious choice is Schwarber, but it's definitely going to be rotating around. It's not going to be just him for all 60 games. When Yu Darvish, like you said, when Yu Darvish is pitching, Vic Caratini is catching Yu Darvish. That's going to happen. I kind of would expect, and it's interesting. This brings us into the next segment. Is Kyle Hendricks being named opening day starter? I always felt like Vic Caratini was probably a better catcher for Hendricks than he was for Darvish. Because.
So, okay, I'm going to respect.
No, go ahead. Everybody knows why, because Vic Caratini's a better framer.
He is a better framer, but Hendricks' ERA with Kyle Hendricks is very good. It's much better than you would expect. You look at Kyle Hendricks' ERA when Contreras is catching. It's very impressive. Now, Hendricks' ERA is good all the time. He's a very good pitcher. But I don't know if the difference in framing is different enough between Contreras and Caratini, and if Hendricks feels comfortable with Caratini, then great. Darvish is a little more enigmatic. I mean, Hendricks is going to throw to whoever's back there, okay. I think. But Darvish, you need to have him be comfortable, and if he's comfortable with Caratini, then more power to him.
Okay, so to go into the next subject, are you happy with Kyle Hendricks being the number one starter? Because I am. I've said this from the beginning. That I said this 2 years ago that Kyle Hendricks should have been the number one starter.
Yeah, and I don't think it's so much a Lifetime Achievement Award as it is how he's been dealing so far in the summer, in very limited time during the summer, but you got to deal with what you have. Darvish appears to continue to be giving up long balls, and he's not the only Cubs pitcher who's doing that. Javi Baez is hitting everything right now, which is very exciting. That might be an MVP candidate. Talk about a dude that can get hot for a couple of months. I mean, think about it. Javi Baez, the last couple of years, has been red hot until a certain point where he started to taper off a little bit because he got tired. He ain't getting tired in 60 games, man. So we talk about an all-world player who doesn't have to worry about fatigue. I'm pretty stoked about that. But either way, Darvish gave up a career high in home runs last year. He doesn't seem to be able to mitigate that so far. So I completely understand why you would want to get Kyle Hendricks out there opening day. He's earned it in the totality of his Cubs career and so far how he's performed during July.
If I'm not mistaken, and Joel, I really wish I could look this up. And I mean, I could, but I'm probably not going to. I think as of right now, Kyle Hendricks has the lowest active ERA.
I'll check on that. Well, he doesn't because you're talking about lowest active ERA in baseball?
As of right now. Career-wise,
No, Clayton Clayton Kershaw has the lowest active ERA career-wise. Clayton Kershaw's ERA is one of the best in the history of modern baseball. Since in the live ball era, there are very few pitchers who have a better ERA than Clayton Kershaw.
See, and that's why I just went for it. I just went for it on that one. I thought I read that somewhere. Went for it. Not a big deal. I was wrong. It happens.
That's fine.
Just
That's
went
totally
for it.
okay.
Why not, right? Anyway, it sounded good.
Don't worry about it. I mean, it's down there.
It's close.
It's really down there. Yeah, it sounds great. He's got a good ERA. I'd be curious. I wonder if his is. I bet his is lower than Max Scherzer because Scherzer spent some time in the American League. But yeah, I know Kershaw's is. I would check right now on my phone, but I don't want to close out of this and then suddenly have the call be lost.
That would
so
be bad.
I'm gonna not.
That would be bad.
We'll have a footnote on it later.
I'm kind of searching right now. You are probably right. I mean, Kyle Hendricks, as good as he is, Clayton Kershaw is probably the best pitcher that we've ever seen. Do you agree on that?
Yes, he's probably the best left-handed pitcher I've ever seen. That's a big statement considering Randy Johnson, and Randy Johnson started later in his career, and Kershaw is going to break down earlier in his career than Randy Johnson did. If you can hear the motorcycles going by my house,
that's all right.
I hear outside.
Aubrey's screaming, so it's all right.
That's cute. That's a cute sound, though. Motorcycles are
not that
less
cute. She's crying.
Little girls. So, I don't know. It's between Kershaw and Randy Johnson, depending. Who was I more afraid of when the Cubs were going up against them? It's Randy Johnson. Who's a better pitcher overall? Probably Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw's career ERA is 2.44.
That's
Kyle
very
Hendricks
good.
is 3.15.
That's good,
So
but not
right.
as.
You were right. Max Scherzer is 3.20, so
where
Max
does-
Scherzer is 3.20.
Okay. Where does Hendricks rank?
I don't know because
We can worry about it later.
Baseball Reference and just went back and forth between the guys.
Oh, okay. I know. If you go on Baseball Reference, you go down to like their leaderboards or whatever. The ERA will show where he ranks active, but it's not.
I got it right here. I mean, what else are we going to do right now? There isn't a lot to talk about.
We can't talk about games.
So I go down here. Pitcher comparison? No. This is live show, folks. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. It's all right. It's the leaderboard thing there on Baseball Reference. It'll show like career ERA is 3.15, and then it'll have a little asterisk. Yeah. I'm gonna say, okay, this will be fun. I'm gonna say that Kyle Hendricks has the 6th best active ERA.
6. Okay, so I'm looking at what am I looking for here? The where'd you go? Okay. See, it just tells me 2016. That's annoying.
That's all right. Well, here we can talk about something else, but I fully am with Kyle Hendricks being the opening day starter. He has earned it several times over.
Yeah. See, this is why you're the.
And he was very solid last year.
He was solid.
That's all right, man.
Joel's
looking.
You know what? That's why we don't see Joel right now. He's looking. Yeah.
I couldn't help myself.
That's why he's the numbers guy and I'm not. I'm the face, which is scary. No, I mean Kyle Hendricks has earned this. Darvish earned it also. It was very back and forth. Jed Hoyer said that they weren't 100% sure which way they were going. They just felt like Kyle was more stretched out as of now than Darvish. And that had a lot. That was a big factor of it.
Yeah, and there's a lot that can go into that. It's when they say stretched out, I wonder if it's that they think Darvish would be better, but maybe he's only good for 5, and meanwhile Kyle can go 6 or 7. Who knows?
Exactly, because we are talking about the Cubs bullpen.
we're talking about the Cubs bullpen, and we're also talking about a really short season. So how often are these guys going to get stretched out as the season goes on? Are we going to see more complete games because you have fewer opportunities to hold back bullets? Or is it going to turn into playoff baseball from the start, where guys are bullpenning and you only see starters go 3 innings before you go to your most consequential pitchers?
Oh, that's a great question. That's what makes this all exciting is that those questions right there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. My brother-in-law, Tim Esch, he asked a question. He wants to know, Joel, what do you think of? Do you think pitching is going to have the advantage over hitting since it's such a short season in 60 games, or now that since the weather's warmer, and that's usually has a factor in why pitching also is ahead of hitting when the season starts? Do you think hitting will be there quicker than it usually would be in a regular season?
I think that hitting is going to rule the day to start, and I think that by the time the playoffs roll around, it's going to be pitching. I think it's going to take a little longer for pitchers to round into form. And I also wonder about, you hear about that dead arm period during the spring. Well, they've already had a full spring training almost. Now they haven't. They only had a very limited spring training, but they got ramped up. They get shut back down for 4 months. Who knows which one of these guys have been throwing? They might not have been sure how many baseball games they were going to play. So it's challenging. I think it's going to be more difficult for a pitcher to get into midseason form than it is for a hitter to come out and start hot.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
I think pitching is going to rule the day. Or hitting is going to rule the day, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I lean to agree with you on this because I do think that hitting is going to be hot because I think a lot of it has to do with the weather. So I just feel like the hitters are just there. You can see, like you said, Javi Baez right now is just absolutely murdering the ball in these inter-squad games, and it's just that should just show you right there that hitting's going to be there. I mean, he hit a bomb off of Yu Darvish, an absolute bomb off of him, and it's gonna be hitting, and it's gonna be a fun season because of that. If you like hitting, baseball is gonna get what they want. They want excitement. That's what they're getting this year. They want to try to bring fans back. That's kind of what they're doing with the excitement. Can get rid of the blackout restrictions. Maybe their MLB that would help.
Jeez.
Poor Joel.
That's impossible.
Poor Joel.
Yeah, man. It's the worst.
I think
I'm in the worst state. Literally, statistically, the worst state. Us in Las Vegas.
I think you. I think Bob and Vince in Western Illinois. They're all in the same boat with the blackout restrictions. You guys are getting royally screwed by Major League Baseball.
Yeah, what else is new? 6 teams. We can't watch anybody around us.
It's ridiculous. Who's trying to watch the Royals? Just let people watch the Royals for free. They're not that good.
I've only seen the Royals on in a casino in Kansas City. That's the only time I've ever walked by anywhere and seen it happen to be on. Never anywhere else in my life.
Well, and that's because the Chiefs game just ended or something like that.
Right, yeah. No, otherwise it's either Ultimate Fighting or Equestrian Tricks. If those are on at the same time, you're going to opt for those.
Yeah, see, Major League Baseball did this all wrong with this whole shortened season, quarantine situation. Get rid of the blackout restrictions. Make MLB.TV free for everybody. Give all of us refunds back. I want my full money back, but I still want to have it. And I just want it to be renewed next year. They did work something out where it's prorated, but it is what it is. It should be free for everybody. Major League Baseball really kind of screwed the pooch on this one.
No, they're not good at that. One more comment on the Royals. Ugh. I remember going to pumpkin patches with my family back in 2015 when they were, in the playoffs, and then they were in the World Series, and eventually they won it. I felt like every fourth person I saw had Royals gear on, whether it was a hat or a shirt or sweatshirt, something. I thought, wow, I didn't know there were so many Royals fans. I swear, since 2017, I've seen fewer than 5 people wear Royals merchandise. The biggest fair-weather fans I have ever encountered have been Royals fans when they won the World Series, and they went back into either their Cubby holes or became Cubby fans the very next year. And I mean, you see more fans for so many other teams when they're bad. I see Twins fans when the team is lousy around here. I don't see a lot of Cardinals fans. I think just Missouri is a giant cesspool of anonymity. And then, I get White Sox, you don't see a lot of either. But the Cubs fans, whether you're bad or good, you see a lot of Cubs stuff and you see a lot of Twins stuff around here. Those are 2 teams that I know are.
Oh, I think we may have lost Joel. Please don't say that. Oh, we lost him. That's all right. That's a live show, right? That's what happens on a live show. It's reconnecting. So if we get Joel back, we'll get him back. I think we got him back. No, that's okay. If we get him back, we get him back. That's just part of doing this live show. It is what it is, right? This is our first show since March. These technical difficulties are going to happen. I know the team of me and Bob Marufo of BobMarufoDoesWork.com and Vincent Hennings of VincentHennings.com will take care of these technical difficulties by next time we do an episode, which we're aiming for next week. Again, we're just kind of waiting to see if Joel comes back. In the meantime, we're going to tease a little something for you here. I know Bob's excited about this, and so am I. The reason I keep looking over my shoulder is because I'm waiting to see if Bob mentions something in the comments of the YouTube page, which like and subscribe to this YouTube page if you have not yet. That would be amazing. Joel, are you there? You guys heard that, right? It sounded like he was there. No. See, Joel's just completely gone. That's all right. We'll see if we can get him back on. In the meantime, again, I'm going to tease something for you guys. We are launching this shop of the Ivy Boys soon. And very excited about this. You will be able to get your Manfred Hates Baseball t-shirts on the Ivy Boys shop sooner than later. I think we're aiming for, I don't know, Bob, if you can help me here. I think we're aiming for sooner than later, probably next week. We're trying to get the last kinks out of it, and we'll go from there. And so, again, I'm trying to get Joel back. Oh, Joel?
Hey, I'm back in the land of the living.
Boom. All right, good. See? Live show. Things happen, but we got him back. You can hear Joel now, right? Joel, you're there.
I'm here.
Okay, good. Hey, there you are. We can see you now, too. Yes,
Great.
Bob says coming soon. Joel, what I was telling them during this little hiatus while we're looking at your forehead, we were talking about coming soon, the shop of the Ivy Boys. The Ivy Boys shop is coming soon. That is here.
Yes.
We're getting the last kinks worked out, and it is a go from there. You'll be able to get your Manfred Hates Baseball shirts and wear it proud throughout the town, so everybody knows that the commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred, hates baseball. He hates it. You'll be able to get jerseys. We can't have the names on the back, but damn it, we can have the numbers. We can have the numbers. You can get you can get just an Ivy Boys hat. You can get an Ivy Boys shirt. You can get a shirt that says my tagline, Chipper Strike 3, just the number 3. All these cool things are coming to the Ivy Boys shop. Bob and I are very exciting. Let's see what he's saying. He says, hoping for credit card processing by the 24th or sooner. So there you go. By the time the season opens, we are hoping that you will be able to get your Rob Manfred Hates Baseball shirt.
Sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
By the way, It only is. It's only intensified since the last time we talked. Very little has happened that has disproved your theory of Rob Manfred hating baseball, which is so weird. You would think that if there would be at any moment for a commissioner to prove that the best interest of the game is what's most important to him, the commissioner of baseball. He
did.
He blew it, man. He proved that he's the commissioner of baseball owner finances. That's what that's what he proved.
I know that even when LeBron James tweets out, a superstar from another sports tweets out something about Manfred not being good commissioner, that's big. That should tell you something right there. I don't. That was so long ago, but he did tweet it. I remember this. It's just it's baffling. You don't have a baseball guy running baseball. Bud Selig never would have done any of this.
You don't have a lot of baseball guys owning baseball teams anymore. You have people who are interested in, getting a return on their investment and not really interested in
Bill DeWitt Jr. said that owning a baseball team is not really profitable, even though he's done it for like 20-something years.
Screw Bill DeWitt Jr. Because owning a baseball team means that you are subject to the benefits of profits from MLB's advanced media wing. And as a result, and also with revenue sharing, every team makes money. Every team makes money. The Cubs are a little more dependent on people being in their ballpark, and more importantly, almost, around their ballpark with the little Disney World they've created around Wrigley Field now. But they still make a huge amount of money off of MLB Advanced Media. And the issue isn't losing money. It's just not making as much money as they'd like to. You're capitalists. So am I. And when you take on risk, you incur the possibility of not making money. And you know what? If you're so bent on that being your main goal of making money, then don't own a baseball team. It's so difficult for me to reconcile or be okay with the owners settling for 60 games when at one point 114 could have been played, and we would have been perfectly fine with it.
$155 million. That's what the DeWitts bought the Cardinals for from Anheuser-Busch or Augie Busch or however that went. $155 million. Joel, they are worth $2 billion now.
Yes, he will make a return on his investment 10 times over.
When these owners say stuff like that, do they not think we can look this stuff up?
Not only that, but do they think that we care? Not only do we have the ability to look up, we don't care how much money they're losing. They were able to buy a baseball team for $150 million in the first place, and they haven't lost enough. I understand that it sucks to lose money. It is no fun to lose money, but you own a baseball team and you don't necessarily want them playing baseball. That feels so un-American, and it doesn't settle well with me at all. And I can't imagine any owner that would get away with, if you gave them truth serum, truly saying that wasn't part of the factor with the number of games that ended up being played, was being able to maximize the profit potential. And I don't know if there are more than 5 owners, and I can't even name who those are, who were going to want to play as many baseball games as possible this year because baseball's awesome, and that's why.
Yeah, and you know what? It's easy to get down on the Ricketts, and they went from like the greatest owners ever in 2016 to the worst owners ever very, very quickly 4 years later. But I found it really interesting.
Yeah.
When the owners put out their last proposal before Manfred went ahead and mandated everything, the Cubs were one of the 5 teams that went ahead and agreed to the owner's proposal, which it makes you wonder if the players and the Ricketts were kind of trying to figure it out together on what was best for not only the Cubs, but for the players and for Major League Baseball. That's just kind of the sense I got out of that.
Mark Cuban once said that winning a championship is really expensive. And the reason that teams don't become dynasties is because winning a championship is so expensive. Now, the Cubs have certainly not had a problem spending money on players. I know there are people out there who will complain about the Cubs not getting every single free agent. But look, you're paying huge money to Yu Darvish, John Lester. You're going to probably end up paying huge money to Javi Baez. You might pay huge money as you used to have to Chris Bryant. What do you do with Wilson Contreras? Do you let him go and have Victor Caratini be your everyday catcher? I don't know. Or do you go elsewhere and do that? I mean, the Cubs have been among the 5 highest payroll teams for years and years now. I'm not going to complain about how much money they spent. I'm not going to right now complain about how much money they say they're losing and say they're full of it, because no one's going to their area right now. I'm not saying that little that concourse there, all the businesses they own around the ballpark, they're not getting hardly any money out of that. So I get it. But come on, man, you really think that 80 games versus 60 was going to break you even more? You've got the Marquee Network now. You've got the Marquee Network now. People are buying into that. There are going to be huge ratings on that any minute. Like, believe me, if you can't go to a ball game, you're going to pony up the $55 a month. You know, the price of a baseball ticket, not a very good one to a lot of games, by the way, at Wrigley Field. You're going to pony up the cost of one baseball ticket for a month of Hulu plus live sports so you can watch the games. We're having that conversation in our family right now, and we're trying to save up to buy a house, but watching Cubs games is that important to us that we will probably end up buying it for 60 games and all that content. So you're going to get our money, Ricketts. Don't worry about that. But more games would have been more money on the broadcast revenue.
They offered the Marquee Network as a app strictly for me down here in St. Louis, where I got all the content except for games, but I would be okay with that because I have MLB.TV. I probably would pay into that because I want the content. I want the content that comes with Marquee Network.
Yeah, because that's baseball.
I'm missing all of that. I'm missing the programs and stuff like that outside of the actual games, and that does suck.
Hey, speaking of content, did you watch the Ryan Sandberg game documentary that came out recently?
No, I did not.
Okay, it's on YouTube. Okay. I recommend it. It's really good. It's really, really good. You know, I mean, so my family my wife married into being a Cubs fan, and she didn't become a huge one until a few years ago when we actually went to Wrigley Field. So she'd heard of Ryan Sandberg, but she didn't know that much about him. I guess I'm okay with how handsome she thought he was back in 1984.
Oh, no, he was a good-looking man.
That's fine. He's not that. He's a very good-looking guy. Like, he was the perfect poster child for what you wanted the Cubs to be, you know. And all-American guy, played hard. A little afraid of making a mistake over at second base, but they didn't bring it up in the documentary. And he, he had a long errorless game streak, but he didn't necessarily go for those above and beyond plays that you'd like a true great defensive second baseman to go for. Turning a positive into a negative, like a long errorless game streak, and saying, "Yeah, but that's." Classic Cubs fan right there.
Right.
But you know, I mean that kind of stuff breeds new Cubs fans. My daughter watched some of that and thought that was really neat to watch some of those old players and the old Cardinal uniforms and I love the old '84 Cubs uniforms and just what I'm getting at, that content helps create new Cubs fans outside of just going to baseball games. And you're 100% right. If it was a separate app, I would absolutely pay, $20 a month, $25 a month for
Yeah.
that content during baseball season, and then have it be a little bit less during
Yep.
the off season. I have no idea.
Yeah, it would be great. Really quick, I thought of a question while you were saying that and talking about Ryan Sandberg and his defense. Who was a better defensive second baseman during his tenure as a Chicago Cub? Ryan Sandberg or Darwin Barney?
As during his tenure as a Cub, it's a great question because Darwin Barney may very well be a better defensive second baseman now. I'll probably say Sandberg because the sample size with Barney doesn't really it doesn't warrant the affection that Sandberg's did. I mean, if you give Barney the same number of games as Sandberg, does he have the sparkling defensive
Right,
reputation?
but don't forget Darwin Barney
So
broke
I'll say
Sandberg's airless streak. He broke that record.
He did, but that was during one period of Sandberg's career, and I mean, all joking aside, he was a really good second baseman, won a lot of Gold Gloves, gloves of reputation, as you tend to do with Gold Gloves. If you win 10 Gold Gloves, you probably earned 4 of them. Is kind of what I think, and the rest of them are on reputation from the first 2 that you won, with the exception of Jason Hayward. He has earned every
single one.
He's won. He wins. He earns all of them. And Greg Maddux earned all his.
And so did Ozzie Smith, by the way.
But and Pudge. But like Andrew Jones didn't earn all of his.
Derek
Jeter didn't
is
earn all
overrated.
of his.
5.
Rafael Palmeiro didn't win. I don't think Rafael Palmeiro earned the Gold Glove that he won when he played 140 games at DH. So yeah, it's just. But either way, no. I think that Bernie, great second baseman, but during his time as a Cub, I would say that I'd probably put Ryan Sandberg as a better second baseman.
DJ LeMahieu did not deserve the Gold Glove. No, that should have it should have gone to Colton Wong or Javi Baez, and I would have been happy with either one of them.
I'm with you. Colton Wong is a pretty special guy.
The best defensive second baseman in Major League Baseball. Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. You have an infield of Arenado.
So there.
If you have an infield of Arenado, Baez, and Wong, nothing's getting by. It's not.
That is true.
And Freddie Freeman.
And, I mean, the 2016 Gold Glove. I think Anthony Rizzo definitely earned the Platinum Glove. I don't know about that, but Gold Glove for sure. Yeah, I would give him the Gold Glove.
So, by the way, since this is our first show in 3 months, I have gotten out of a routine. This is the Ivy Boys podcast, presented by Rebecca Lewis of Coldwell Baker Gundecker. 314-369-9680. RebeccaSellsDreams.com. If you want the MVP realtor of the St. Louis area, contact Rebecca Lewis of Coldwell Baker Gundecker. Not because she is my mom. I can speak from experience right now. She not only found us our first house that we are in right now 5 years ago, she is helping us get this ready to sell. That is coming up soon in the next week or so. We just got all the painting done. She found us the best painters. She found us the best carpet people to put new carpet down. She found the best appliances, countertops, everything like that. And yes, it's easy to say she did that because she's my mom. No. She would do this for anybody. It does not matter. She would find you the best people to get what you need to get top dollar for your house. That's what Rebecca Lewis does because she is a no-nonsense realtor, Joel.
She is no nonsense whatsoever. You go into a house and you see that someone replaced the bathtub with a grill, she will call that out. She has no time for such nonsense.
No-nonsense realtor Rebecca Lewis of Coldwell Banker Gundecker will treat you like you're her child, you are one of her kids. That is what she will treat you like, because she is the best. She is the MVP realtor of the St. Louis area. So, again, that's Rebecca Lewis of Coldwell Banker Gundecker, 314-369-9680 or RebeccaSellsDreams.com. All right, Joel, let's wrap this up. I got a couple questions for you. It's simple. Give me a win total for the Cubs.
Cubs will go 34 and 26.
I say 35 wins, so we're about even right there.
Okay. We're right there. We're right there.
So, next question. Who wins the NL Central?
I say 34 and 26 might win you the Central. That's a 60% win. I'm going to go with
going
Cubs
also. I thought that would be a given right there. I'm going Cubs. And yes, I do. I mean, we're saying 35, 34 wins because this NL Central is going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
The Reds are improved. You don't know. See, that's the thing with 60 games. I mean, the Pirates could just come out swinging and just shock the world and win this division. That's what these 60 games will do. The Reds are.
Yeah. What if the Pirates? What if they win 10 in a row? I mean, what happens then when this is all going to play out before our eyes in this weird experimental petri dish of a shortened baseball season? I don't even know how anybody can feel confident in saying who they think is going to win anything because it's hard. It just depends on what time of year that ends up happening.
There is no reason not to think that the Tampa Bay Rays are going to win the AL East.
Sure. You're absolutely right.
You know what? I'm going to make a prediction. The Baltimore Orioles are still going to finish last in the division.
I was really ready for a super bold prediction, like you'll see the Tigers in the ALCS or something, and then you throw the Orioles out there. And I just
go away.
That's how I want my podcast.
Orioles and Tigers, they have been eliminated from the playoffs. They're gone. Mathematically.
Their magic number is 61.
Yes. I feel bad for the Orioles. They have to play the AL East and the NL East. I mean,
right.
it's too bad. That sucks. No, you want a bold prediction? I'm going to go with Vince Hennings.
Sure.
VincentHennings.com. Prediction: Cubs Rangers World Series. There's your bold prediction.
Cubs Rangers. Interesting. Okay. All right. Look, man. You know, it's a very bold prediction, but you know what? A lot of predictions are going to seem less or more bold depending on who stays healthy throughout the season.
And also think about the Rangers have their ace in Corey Kluber now. People forget that.
That's right.
They forget that they have an ace now. Mm-hmm. I mean, they could have Kyle Hendricks, but they wanted Ryan Dempster instead.
That's wild.
Yes.
Which worked out for 6 hours.
Anyways, Joel, I think we're gonna wrap this up. Right, we covered everything. Do you have a World Series prediction?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Cubs Red Sox.
Nobody's picking the Red Sox.
No one is picking the Red Sox. So again, I'm pulling a rabbit out of a hat because you never know depending on who stays healthy.
Okay,
so
last question. This can be your final thought if you want it to be. If not, if you have one, that's fine. Do you trust Craig Kimbrell?
This will be my final thought. No, I do not trust Craig Kimbrell. I worry in a 60-game season that he's going to have an ERA of 7.5.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that's short but sweet. It's very true. I'm very thankful that we have Rowan Wick.
It's great to have Rowan Wick. Remember, did you allow yourself for 5 minutes to think Brandon Morrow was going to be okay this year?
I was pulling for him.
I did. Yep. Here's the thing. So he was also pulling for himself, and it just ruined his elbow.
That's all right. At least he didn't cut his finger doing dishes. Jeez.
Yeah, no kidding. So we got
Don't
we'll
say
see what
that.
Chadwick can do.
I'm thankful for.
I will say that because he was fine last year. It'll be interesting to see how he performs this season.
I'm
Nice
thankful
redemption
for
2019.
Jeremy Jeffries. How about that? In
Okay.
60 games,
Yes,
if he
yeah,
finds
me too.
it,
Me
he's
too.
the new closer. So
Yes. If Kimbrel loses it during games that matter, and Jeffries starts out well, I can see Kimbrel losing it
I
after
agree.
5 appearances. Give him 5
you can't
shots.
take
and
the
then
chance. You
get out
can't
of
let
it.
him work it out. That's the thing with 60 games. You can't let someone play through it. You just
No, because
can't. So, all right, that's it. We're done. That's it for us, folks. Yeah, thanks. See ya.
thanks everybody.
No, follow us on Twitter at the Ivy Boys. Follow me on Twitter at ChipperStrike3, just the number 3. Follow Joe on Twitter at Fry Sports Radio. Like us on Facebook. Like and subscribe to this YouTube page, please. The more viewers we have, the better we could go to more sponsors and say, hey, look, people watch. So please like and subscribe because that would make us more money. Keep an eye out for the Ivy Boys shop, another way to make us money so we can improve this show for you guys. That's all we're doing here. That's all the money that we get from the shop and sponsors funnels back into this website, into the podcast. It's all for you guys. So please keep an eye out for that shop. Very excited about that. Manfred Hates Baseball shirts are coming, folks, for opening day. That is the plan. Bob is working hard to get that done for us. So anyways, yeah, that's all I got. Anyways, folks, thanks so much for watching. We appreciate the support, and we will see you next episode. Oh, wait, no, I told my gosh. Oh, duh. BobDoesWork.com. 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 Bob Marufo's website. Bob, I'm sorry. I'm still getting all the cobwebs out. Yeah, Bob Marufo does all this. The website, this YouTube page. Him and Vince do a great job. If you need stuff done for softball teams, volleyball teams, anything like that, shirts, T-shirts, BobDoesWork.com. 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 I promise, Bob, I will do better next episode. Anyways, folks, thanks so much for watching. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you next episode.